the Creator, not for this creation.
Do we have a question in the sister section? Yeah. Could you please state your name and your occupation and then your question, please?
My name is Balanandita. I'm studying. I'm an MBBS student. What is the concept of praying 5 times a day?
Bismillah. If your question is just asking what is the reason, not the concept, but if you're asking what's the reason for praying 5 times a day, a Christian has an order in the book of James to pray unceasingly, always, never stop. Pray and pray and pray and pray and pray. Alhamdulillah, we only have to do it 5 times a day. But of course, the concept of prayer in Arabic is not the same as English anyway. We have in English only one word, pray. But in Arabic, as in Aramaic, that's what the Bible came in. The New Testament came in Aramaic, Old Testament Hebrew. The words were really like this. When you say unceasingly, this is called in Arabic, Akthar. Akthar. And we make dhikr of Allah unceasingly. But they translate it as pray. Then we have something else. We supplicate and we ask. We raise our hands. Christians go like this. Have you ever seen a Christian pray like this? Which is better, a beggar who's like this with his hands or a beggar like this? I catch a lot more like this, don't you? But anyway, still raising your hands and supplicating. This in Arabic is dua, calling, dua. English, pray. So when we do our ritual where we stand and bow and prostrate, all of this is called salah. Salah. Hayya ala salah. Huh? English, pray. So there's the problem. If you would like to know why do we call on God and ask Him, because He's the only one that can help us. If you want to know why do we remember Him in our thinking unceasingly, adhkar, dhikr, this is because we know that He's the only one, and we think of Him and we thank Him and we want to be closer to Him. But if you're asking why do we stand and do the ritual that's prescribed in the Quran, that's ordered on the believers, I just answered the question. That's why. Because the rest of the verse that I started a minute ago says like this. I'll just give you the whole thing so you get it. A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. Alif lam mim. ذلك الكتاب لا ريب فيه هدى للمتقين الذين يؤمنون بالغيب ويقيمون الصلاة ومما رزقناهم ينفقون. I'll stop there. It says that is the book wherein there is no doubt. A source of guidance, but only for who? Those who have the righteous consciousness called taqwa, and they believe in the unseen, al-ghaib. They establish the worship that we're talking about, and they pay charity from what Allah gives them. And if somebody's not willing to do that, then the book will not be guidance for them. So if somebody said, well, I read the Quran and I didn't get guided, well, did you follow the instructions? Did you even look at the instructions? Because in order to get guided, taqwa has to be there. If you have taqwa, Allah, He'll guide you, and you'll see the guidance in the Quran. If not, you'll say it's just a book with a bunch of stuff written on it, I don't know what it is. And I've seen it happen. So if you really care about your Lord, you really want to do what He wants you to do, maybe you're already on your path to being a Muslim anyway. Because that's what the word Muslim means. Because it comes from the same root as the word Islam. Islam comes from aslama. Aslama is the verb. Islam is the noun. Whoever does aslama is a mu'aslim, Muslim. And what is Islam? Islam is to surrender, submit, obey in sincerity and in peace to the one God. If you believe there's God and you will do this, as a Christian, for instance, they have a clear order from Jesus to pray like this: God's will be done on earth as it is in heaven. That's the best way to describe it. That's what Islam means. You do what God wants you to do, not what you want to do. And by the way, that's the subject we talked about. You give up what you want for what He wants. And if He tells you to jump on one leg until Judgment Day, you do it if you believe in Him. But if He said, I don't have to do that, you're right back where we started. Remember? Remember? The little boy came in and he said, Mama, I love you. But he can't demonstrate it. Allah has asked us to do several things, but Salah is not the first one. He tells us in the Quran what it was ordered for the people before us. Jews and Christians were ordered something. وَمَا أُمِرُوا إِلَّا لِيَعْبُدُوا اللَّهَ مُخْلِصِينَ لَهُ دِينَهُ حُنَفَاءَ وَيُقِيمُوا الصَّلَاةَ وَيُؤْتُوا الزَّكَاةَ وَذَلِكَ دِينُ الْقِيَامَةِ. They were not ordered anything more than to worship God without partners, keeping the religion pure for Him, establish the salat 5 times a day, and pay the charity zakah. And this is the way of Islam, the way that Allah wants you to do it, the way, the religion of the Almighty. Most clear. Make sense? Thanks for a good question.
We have another question from the sister section. So, go ahead, sister. State your name and your occupation.
My name is Renuka and I'm a student. Sir, is it okay if we sit and pray without taking any initiative of knowing about the things that are happening around, knowing about the new technologies and stuffs like that, without paying any attention to what is happening around itself? It is only enough if we sit and pray. Is it enough, sir?
Sort of like becoming a hermit. You just turn your back, renounce the world, you sit in a cave all day, pray, and you don't think about what's going on in the world today, new technologies, new medicine. You just worship.
You guys have this worked out ahead of time. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. What religion are you?
Hindu, sir.
You're a Hindu. I should have figured out. You said sit and pray. We don't sit and pray. We have to stand up when we do salah. But if you're asking me, is it okay if we just turn our back on what's going on around us and we just sit there and go like that all day long? Is that what you're talking about?
Yes.
Yeah, all right. We have the responsibility to worship Allah. But at the same time, a part of the worship of a Muslim is to be a part of the world that Allah put you in. One time, I'll give you the example. Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, he told us about this. A man, he was in the temple, a place to worship, all the time, day and night, day and night, day and night. And somebody asked, who's taking care of this man's family? Who's getting the food? Who's feeding them? They said, his brother. And the answer is, his brother is the one getting the reward for all of his worship. His brother is getting the reward for all of the worship. Why? Allah doesn't need you to do this. But you should stop in the day and remember Him. These are the 5 prayers. Take about 5 minutes each. Altogether, you've got what? 30 minutes invested, 25, 30 minutes out of a day that you invest in your salah out of 24 hours. Remembering the one who created you, thanking Him, and being obedient to what He told you to do. But the rest of the time, get out there and get to work. Even on Friday, there's a chapter 62 of the Quran. It's called Surah Al-Jumu'ah. Verse 9, 10, and 11, it tells the believers what to do. Oh, believers, when the call for the Jumu'ah prayer is made, drop off everything, stop doing business, get out of the tijara, that's doing trading, and get in there and listen to what is being said. But then look what it says. And when it's over, get back to work. This is paraphrasing it, but that's what it says. Go out and seek the bounties of Allah. Yeah. So it's very clear Allah didn't want us to just sit, in a little bubble and say, oh, no. And it won't work for anybody. You have to be a part of the world that you live in. You have to work within it, but you don't let it overtake you. You don't let it get to the point where you worship it instead of Him. So that's all part of the test, and your question was perfect. Thank you very much.
Dr. Jafar Idris.
Historically authentic, no ambiguities or contradictions, friendly to science and reason, no factual errors in spite of the vast increase in knowledge through 1400 years. Islam is the only true religion.
True Religion, every Tuesday at 5:30 p.m. and repeat telecast at 4 a.m. India on Peace TV. पीस टीवी पेश कर रहा है एक ऐसी तरबियत जिसके साये में तामीर हो रही है एक नायाब सोच।
इस्लाम में मर्द औरत के दर्जे बराबर है। इल्म के गलत इस्तेमाल ने इंसान को हैवान बना दिया।
ये दुनियावी जिंदगी तो सिर्फ खेल तमाशा है।
जिसके कदमों में ताकते परवाज है, नजरों में निशाने मंजिल।
हमारे समाज अमली बिगाड़ है। बुराई को भलाई के जरिए दूर करो, जिसमें रियाकारी और दिखावा ना हो।
जिसकी नुमाइंदगी कर रही है वो संजीदा नस्ल।
हर मुसलमान का फर्ज बनता है कि इस कुरान को पढ़िए, क्योंकि यही नजात की राह है।
मिलिए इस्लामी तालीमात के तर्जुमानी करते तालिब इल्मों से। मरियम पटेल, सादान सैयद, गाजी चौहान, हिबा सैयद, अम्मार सैयद, अब्सार शेख, तुबा शेख, उमैर कादरी, फैसल कोकड़ी।
कुरान और हदीस के समझ के लिए सहाबा की समझ का सहारा लेना जरूरी है।
तौहीद की हिफाजत है जिनकी जिंदगी का हासिल, जिनकी एक एक बात है तारीफ के काबिल। नस्ले मुस्तकबिल। नेक्स्ट ऑन पीस टीवी।
Brother at the male microphone, would you please state your name, your occupation?
My name is A.P. Shanmugam, the resident of Chennai. I want to know about what is the difference between the Muslims and the non-Muslims. Okay, this is my first question. And also one more thing is, I know all the Hindus and Christians, all the people. See, they have some ideals and they have some classification in there because of, in Hindus, Lord Shiva and Narayana and so many ideals are there. Okay, in Christians also, I came to know that the different kinds of ideals is there. But in Islam, it's only the Lord, only the great Lord is Muhammad, Lord Prophet. Okay, so I don't think so. How and when and where that differences has came from the Muslim communities, because nowadays we are reading in a paper so many the big the terrifying. Horrible things are coming in the papers. We are not able to understand why these peoples are making this kind of, I don't want to say like this, because we are very more fear about all the things, which we are reading in a paper. So I want to know some clarification from your side, sir. Thank you. Thank you for this.
Thank you. I think, first of all, I think your question turned into a paragraph and then it turned into a page, but that's okay. It's all right. The first question, at least we'll deal with that one. What's the difference between a Muslim and a non-Muslim? I gave you the answer a minute ago, but I'll repeat it. The word Islam does not mean a person, a place, or a thing. Hinduism is named for Hindustan. Judaism is named after a tribe called Judah. Christianity is named after Christos, which is Greek for Messiah, a person. Confucianism is named after who? Confucius. Buddhism, named after Buddha. But Islam is not named for anything. It is the noun that's describing the verb, the action. Whoever believes in God, the only God that created the universe, that brought everything into being, who gives you life, who gives you death, who gives you food and gives you breath. If you believe in Him and you want to do what He wants you to do to the best of your ability, in Arabic, that's aslama. That's the action. And whoever does it is a Muslim. Now, it doesn't mean that they're following Muhammad, because I'm only using the words right now, okay? So theoretically, if somebody is on a desert island, they never met anybody else, they don't know anybody else, all they know is the desert island, 2 trees, a coconut, and a monkey running around, that's all they know. But they said all of this didn't come about from the monkey, the trees, or the coconuts, something bigger up there, I don't know what. But whatever it is, I say thank you for the coconuts, the trees, and I don't care about the monkey. Huh? So if I knew what He wants me to do, I would do it. He becomes a Muslim, because it has nothing to do at this stage about the Quran or about Muhammad, because it's only talking about the condition of the inside of the person. But once he knows, once he has some proof, some evidence, he's obliged, he has a responsibility to act on what he knows. You, sir, could not legally in Islam claim, well, I didn't know, because you don't have the status of the guy that's out here on the island with coconuts, right? You got a brain. You're pretty smart. I can tell by listening to you. And you've understood exactly what I said. Therefore, it becomes your obligation between you and your Lord. Now, if you really are serious, you need to talk to Him. Because it's not about you and me. It's not about you and him. It's not about you and anybody in this room. It's not even about you and Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. It's between you and him. And Muhammad was a human and he couldn't guide the people. And Allah told him you can't guide the people. And Allah said you can't force the people. There's no way that you can entice, encourage, coerce, or force anybody into Islam. It's clear in the Quran, La ikraha fid-din. Qad tabayyana rushdu min al-ghayy. So Allah is saying no way can anybody be forced into Islam. But the clear path is made here right in front of you now. False worship, whoever rejects that, called tagut in Arabic. False worship, out of the way, you reject that, and you accept that there's one God and you want to do what He wants you to do. You just grabbed hold of a firm handhold that'll never break. And that will make you a Muslim, at least at the door. You'll have the key. It's up to you now if you want to go in. But to go in, it's going to require a lot more than just some thinking and feelings. Because as you learn, you're going to be asked about what you knew, what you understood. If you understood there's really a God, it's not a joke. This is something Muslims we're eat up with it. This is what we think about all the time. I wake up in the morning, first thing I wake up, I'm like, oh, Allah. Maybe that's not the best way, but that's the first word out of my mouth. Huh? And when I get in the car, I say, Allah. When I get out, Allah. Even when I'm complaining, Allah. I'm not complaining to anybody but Him. Yeah? It's because that's all we think about. Allah, 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 Allah. We know who created us. We know who's going to judge us on the day of judgment, and we know what we want. We want to be with Him in the next life. If this is your goal, you're not a Hindu anymore. You're not a Christian anymore, because these are names that people came up with. Jesus never said, I'm a Christian. He never said, be a Christian. Moses never said, I'm a Jew, be a Jew. In fact, he wasn't from the tribe of Judah anyway. You follow me? Confucius didn't tell the people to be Confucianists. Did he? No. Be you. Be yourself. And be right with Him, and you're already on the right path. Does it make sense? Does it make sense? You got me? Okay, the next part. When you look at what some Muslims do, If you look at what some Christians do, if you look what some Hindus do you blame the religion or the person? If you see two trucks smashed together or a bus and a car smashed together, do you blame the people that made the car or do you blame the people driving it? It makes sense. It makes clear sense. Don't blame a beautiful religion for the acts of some people. And by the way, also don't listen to everything you hear, because not everybody's telling the truth. Is that right? Yeah. But your question gave me a great chance to bring out these points in case that I didn't make it clear before. I'll make it clear now. Anybody who really believes there's one God and they really want to do the right way, they're already in the right way with Him. And it's not for me to judge you. I can't do that. You could fool me and pretend to be a Muslim and I wouldn't know, would I? I wouldn't know. Or you could fool me and pretend you're not a Muslim and I still wouldn't know. But would he know? Would he? Yeah, he'd know. He'd know. Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, gave us the best clue about the condition of a real believer, because he said that a baby is born on this condition. Every baby, your children, my children, every child that was born, when you were born on the fitrah of Islam. You were already in the right way. That's what Islam teaches us. Any baby that dies, Islam said they go to paradise. No other religion teaches that. Islam teaches it because it's the truth. Babies are innocent, yes or no? Yes. So therefore, the condition of a baby is the condition Muslims are supposed to be working toward. And by the way, do we have any Christians? Raise your hand if you're Christian. Any Christians? Please raise your hand. Any at all? Oh, there we go. Did Jesus say, suffer the children to come unto me, for such is the kingdom of heaven? What do you think he meant? He was negating the statement about everybody being born in sin. He was saying babies are innocent. That's the way it is in heaven. And anybody that said babies are guilty of what their fathers did, this is a wacko, a sicko. Babies are innocent. And I don't care what anybody says. I've got grandchildren. I've got a great-grandchild. And when I hold them in my arms, there isn't any sin there. There's no sin. That's beautiful. That's as close as you'll ever get to an angel is when you hold that little baby. Am I right or wrong? I love them babies. And I don't care whose baby it is. And Allah doesn't either. Because Allah is not punishing a child for the religion of the parents or the foolishness of the parents. Allah is not like that. So if you really want to know what's Islam, think about that little baby next time. Your child or your grandchild. Look at him and say, that's Islam. This is real Islam. Thank you for a good question.
Yes, we do thank you for the question. Sister, inshallah, could you please state your name and occupation and then briefly state your question?
Assalamu alaikum, brother. This question is from a non-Muslim brother. He wants to know what fault is it of his that he was not born to Muslim parents, and those who are born to Muslim parents are more privileged than him, whereas he has no access to the religion as much as they have. And can he be blamed for following his religion? That is, for being a non-Muslim and dying as a non-Muslim.
That's a good question. I'm wondering why he didn't ask himself, but it's okay. Just so that you get an idea, Allah creates what He wants the way He wants. And He puts everybody in a different condition. And every one of us is in a test. You're in a test. I'm in a test. All of us are in a test. I also was not born as a Muslim in a Muslim family, but I was born as a Muslim in the sense that I explained earlier. Everybody was born as a Muslim in the sense that you get a chance from the beginning. But it's the parents that raise them up to become something other than a Muslim. True?